Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to Neutral Gaming. Tonight we are going to embark on a new journey. We're still in Hyrule. Now let's put the audio down a bit for this output. So we're still playing a Legend of Zelda game, except it's going to be a very different kind of game compared to others that we played so far. So this is supposedly a prequel to Breath of the Wild, and I haven't really played this yet. I've played a couple of stages with my brother, but I haven't really gone far. So it's supposed to give you a little bit more background on what happened prior to Breath of the Wild. And I'm playing this um, with the expectation of by the time we finish this game, milk it out of all the content that we could out of this game. Breath of the Wild 2 would be released by then. So I'm really excited to play this. It's one of the games that I've been looking forward to playing here on the channel for a long while. And finally, we're gonna get to play it. So I hope you enjoy. So sit back and let's enjoy the story of Breath of the Wild, the prequel to the Breath of the Wild together. Oh, it goes straight to a game. I thought it's going to have some menu first. It goes straight into the Battle of Hyrule then. So press X for strong attack and Y for regular attack. Okay. I never remembered Hyrule having these much goblins when I was playing Breath of the Wild. That's a lot of goblins. Unique action ZR. Okay. So we can use, I think this is a bow and arrow. Yeah. And as you guys can see, Link is wearing Hyrule armor because I think at this point he's one of the knights of Hyrule Castle. He's not yet a special bodyguard for Zelda at this point. Oh, 100 KOs already. That's fast. And also, um, actually when I played Breath of the Wild, I accidentally finished the game and I wasn't really meant to finish it yet. I just stumbled upon Hyrule Castle and I thought maybe there are magnificent armor and equipment that I could loot from Hyrule Castle. So I went inside Hyrule Castle and started exploring the castle, and turns out that the room I entered turned out to be where the final boss fight with Ganon's supposed to be. So I ended up finishing the game without completing a lot of the side quests, and I wasn't even able to free all of the 4 guardians. I was only able to free 1. So in terms of lore, I wasn't able to fully experience the lore of Breath of the Wild. But before starting this game, I brushed up on my lore. I watched all of the videos of the memories from Breath of the Wild just to make me appreciate the story more here. So during a strong attack, hold and release X to add an extra attack to your combo. Okay. Where am I supposed to go though? I'm supposed to go to the yellow dot. I'm supposed to beat the moblin. Alright, let's go there. And while others would think that this kind of gameplay doesn't fit Legend of Zelda, the franchise itself, I think it's a really cool idea to have what they call here Musou kind of game. So before, lock on a powerful foe. Alright, let's go. Ow. Before, the Musou games used to be this very niche product. It used to be exclusive to fans of Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. These are some semi-historical, fictionalized versions of history of medieval Japan and ancient China. And for the longest time, these types of games only had that setting. And I was a big fan of Dynasty Warriors when I was a child. Well, as I was growing up, I also liked playing Breath of the Wild. Sorry. I also like playing Dynasty Warriors, so I'm a big fan of the Musou genre. So when they said Breath of the Wild is gonna have its own. Well, of course, at first I was a bit doubtful because I knew how weak the gameplay is for Musou games. Like, I knew Musou games are too simplistic, and I didn't exactly know how well it'll meld with Breath of the Wild. But so far, from what I've played from this game, it's a it's a really good game actually. It kind of feels like the way how the quality of um okay, so a little background. The company who makes these games, these music games, there's like a company who almost exclusively makes Musou games. They created the Dynasty Warriors and the Warriors franchises. And the name of that company, the developers are Koei Tecmo. I'm not sure if they're the developers or if they're the publisher. I think Koei Tecmo is the publishers and the developers are Omega Force. Well, anyway, they've been commissioned by Nintendo to do these games. So we have a Dragon Quest Warriors, we also have a Fire Emblem Warriors, and now we have a Breath of the Wild Warriors or Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors, whatever. And actually, the Nintendo spin-off versions of the Musou games play so much better, way much better than the old Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors game. And I don't know why. It's like so weird. Why can't they make this kind of quality of games for their own series? Like, why is Dynasty Warriors 9 not this good? So yeah, I'm just really proud of how far Omega Force has come from making their own Dynasty Warriors games to making games for Nintendo. So yeah, that's a bit of background for this game. So I've been talking so much about the background so far. Capture outpost. We've captured one now. So the yellow dots on the map, those are the objectives. That's where we're supposed to go and where we could find the targets that we have to beat. I'm gonna place the mic closer to my face. If you guys have any feedback like about the sound and everything. Oh, Casey, thanks for sharing. Ah, I see. So the events aren't showing up because they're below. Alright, I have to bring the chat box and the event list up. So that's why they're not showing up. Thanks for sharing, Casey. Oh, it's Impa. It's like the younger version of... if you played Breath of the Wild, you would know who this Impa is. She's like the old lady who gives you the Sheikah tablet at the start of Breath of the Wild. It's like a tablet, like a Wii U controller or a Switch tablet. What's this? Oh, it's one of those towers. Oh, so this when those towers started appearing then. It looks like a little BB-8. It just turned on when we got the Sheikah Slate, right? When it activates, like it sent out the signal and turned this little egg-like thing on. What is that? But no, first I must deal with these enemies. Oh, so this is the first time they're meeting, apparently, Impa and Link. You know, I'm not gonna pretend to be one of the super fans of Legend of Zelda. I'm a fan, really, but I'm not like those who had the GameCube and the Wii who were playing Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Majora's Masks, all those games back from the past 2 decades of Zelda. No, I started playing Zelda with Phantom Hourglass on the Nintendo DS. And then I played on the 3DS. There was a 3DS Zelda game, right? I just can't remember the name. Uh, Link Between Worlds. Yeah, I played that game on the 3DS. And then I also played recently. I just finished Link's Awakening, and of course Breath of the Wild. I was able to finish on the very same year that we got our Switch. It's like the very first game I finished on the Switch, uh, way before I even started streaming here in this channel. So if you ask me, I just consider myself as a new fan of Breath of the Wild. I haven't been playing, or rather of Legend of Zelda. I haven't really been playing Zelda since the early days. Although I've played the original Zelda in the NES when we had an NES when I was young. So I'm really familiar with the series, just that I haven't played all of the games. So if you're bothered by that, then I'm letting you know this early. It's really cool. You get to use all of these RY on defensive enemies. You get to use these power-ups that Link has access to in Breath of the Wild right off the bat. It's like power fantasy to the max. I remember back in the Breath of the Wild, you have to earn these. You have to find out how to use the remote bombs, how to use the ice box in the full tutorial plateau at the start of the game. In terms of performance, the game is it's not running really smoothly. It has some frame rate drops, and at least the input doesn't have any lag. It's very responsive at the very least. But yeah, we're experiencing some drops on the frame rate. That's because of the Switch, so don't blame the capture card for it. Oh, Casey sent me 25 stars again. Ako, I'm not bothered even if you're not super fan. Well, thank you for telling me that. That's really cute. Thanks for sending me stars again. You keep sending me stars every time I go online and live stream, and you're also around. Thank you for that. Oh, why are these goblins blue? Capture the outposts. And you can also lose yourself just spending time beating these guys up and not doing any of the objectives, because there's so many monsters for you to beat up. And like, one of the things I like about Dynasty Warriors or Musou games like this is that they don't really require much thinking. Like, I can converse while playing this game because I don't really have to think so much while playing it. And that's been the case for all of the Musou games way before. So it's really great game to play while socializing. You know, when you're having friends over and you like to play together but also want to talk. This game is perfect because you can talk and play at the same time. Doesn't really gonna have an adverse effect on either of them. But you know, to encourage you to pay more attention, this game actually has a lot of secrets, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna hunt for this live stream, but there are things like Korok seeds as well in this game, lots of secrets and side missions. So I'll try to pay as much attention as I can while playing, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss a lot of secrets as I play through the game. You can even just keep on beating up these enemies. You know, how much is our KO count now? Already at 597? I didn't even know this. Oh, one of the cool things you can do here is you can switch between characters in the middle of a fight. So they first implemented this in Musou games in, I think, Warriors Orochi in the PS2. Warriors Orochi is like a mix between Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors. Like, there's this demonic power that conflated their timelines so that they'd be mixed together. So it's an alternate dimension, reality, whatever, with both Chinese generals from the early 1st century AD and Japanese warriors from the Tokugawa period of Japan. So it was a pretty cool game. And speaking of switching characters, we can now switch characters and play as Impa. So unlike in other Musou games where your character switches or your characters exist in the same place, when you swap between characters, they just swap out like they do in Genshin Impact. But here, even when you swap out of a character, they all exist in the map all at the same time. So if ever I swap out back to Link, I'm going back to where Link was in the map, and Impa will stay where she was earlier. So this adds a dimension to the game. It allows you to strategize a bit more in terms of positioning of your characters. So you can even order your characters around, tell them to go to this place or that, and have them complete objectives while you do your own thing. So I think it's a really neat feature. The only downside is if, for example, you're playing as Link and you fight an enemy that's hard to beat as Link and you wanna have an easier time beating it, you can just swap to a different character and beat that use that character to beat the enemy. You'll have to ask that character to walk all the way to where Link is and have them beat them up there. So yeah, there are pros and cons to this kind of arrangement. We're running low on health actually. 1.5 hearts. So this is a Wizrobe. It's a magician monster thing. If you beat it, you get a wand that you can use in battle. But they're really tough enemies, as you can see here. Having a hard time beating it actually. Haha! But we get to beat it nonetheless. So you get its fire wand, I think. That's a fire rod. And you can use it now in battle. So watch this. Watch what happens. You can use it to do area of effect damage like that, but it's consumable, so you can run out of charges when you use it too much. So you have to beat another Wizrobe so you can get another Fire Rod and replenish the uses. All in all, this game has, I think, 28 characters, including DLCs and expansions if there are any. So I think there's a lot of content here for us to find. I've seen the map for the campaign and it's really large and it has a lot of side missions and side quests for us to explore. So I think there's a lot of things that we can do in this game. Okay, I've had enough of Impa. Let's go back to Link. Oh, if you can notice that they even don't share the same life total. So earlier we saw Impa only having 1.5 hearts left. Now we're back to Link and he still has 4.5 hearts. So Link is busy capturing this outpost while Impa was busy fighting that Wizrobe. But at least they share inventories, so the fire rod that Impa was able to get from the Wizrobe is also accessible to Link. So look at this. It's really cool, right? It's fantastic. So it's weak against ice. You can use it to beat it down. This Lizalfos. Oh. Like that. And now you can beat it up while it's frozen. There we go. Hello. Yes, hello. Sorry I can't chat with you right now. I know you sent me a video, but I can't check it out. Okay, we're moving on to the last outpost. I'm gonna go get some outposts. This way. I'm still not sure why the BB-8 kind of thing is following me around. I have no idea what's trying to do. Or if I even got any powers from receiving the Sheikah Slate. I'm not sure yet. I think it it gave me access to the cryo thing and the bomb thing. So it's like the tablet gave you those powers, I think. Actually, I can't remember in the original Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild what you use the tablet for, the Sheikah Slate. All I remember is you use it on the towers so that you can download map info. Okay. Lightbringer. It's interesting to see Link dishing out these moves that he apparently didn't know how to use in Breath of the Wild, even though this was supposed to be a prequel. A group of moblins have appeared. Okay, we'll have to go back to the castle. You know, those conversation bubbles appear at the lower left, and they're so easy to miss. So sometimes I might not be able to get some cues, give orders. So on the ally screen, which can be accessed after pressing the plus button, you can give orders to characters you aren't controlling, such as telling them where to move with A. So yeah, as we mentioned earlier, we have to tell Impa to actually go somewhere in the map. How do I do that? Impa. Allies. Ah, there you go. Go here, Impa. There you go. You can make her target locations or target characters you want them to fight. So let's have Link fight the Wizrobe this time. Since Link has access to ice, let's try using it. It's effective. You know, even in Breath of the Wild, I didn't like fighting these Wizrobes. I would just mostly ignore them because I wasn't even a big fan of using their wands or their rods after all, so I didn't really mind not fighting them. Just mostly ignored them. What's that? What was that? Oh, it's a Korok seed. This small seed was given by a Korok. It has a distinct smell. Gather a bunch of them and surely something will happen. Though those Korok seeds are actually poop, right? You collect hundreds of poop. Nearly 1,000 of them in Breath of the Wild. I wonder how many of those they've hidden away here in this game. You know, the Korok seeds are fun to collect because they're creatively hidden in the world of Breath of the Wild. But if all of the Korok seeds are just like that here, then it's mostly just a goose hunt. Restless Cricket. Yeah, you also get food ingredients so that you can cook them up and give you bonuses in battle. But you do the cooking outside of the battle. There's a cooking mode. Or not, actually, there's a cooking option in the map. Let's try using fire. There we go. See, there's sometimes frame drop issues. So the game's far from perfect, but you know, there are rarely perfect games on the Switch. And actually, disappointingly, this is actually a first party title. It's made by Nintendo and it's having these kinds of issues. And well, it's not made by Nintendo. It's made by Omega Force with the supervision of Nintendo. So they've gotten all of the resources they would have needed to optimize the game, and yet the game isn't super optimized, which just goes to show how limited the capabilities of the Switch is. Which brings me hope because there's word of a new Switch coming out soon. It's like a Switch Pro. I think it's called the Super Switch. That's the code name for the new Switch version. It's coming out soon. It's been called the Nintendo Switch Pro by pundits for a long time, but we still don't know when it's coming out. But if a more powerful kind of Switch is coming out very soon, then it's gonna be a really good news for us Nintendo Switch fans. So if it's backwards compatible, we'll be able to play this probably with 60 FPS, remove the frame rate limit, and with better optimization, then it's going to be really fantastic. Okay, so these are swords we got, equipment and items we get. That's a lot of things that we were able to loot from just that one mission. And now Link's level 5, Impa is level 2 because we haven't been using Impa much. Inexplicable guardian. So yeah, it does look like a small guardian. And a mysterious tower. It's Zelda.
皆見事な働きであった。はっ。
よかった。あなたも無事だったのですね。はい、姫様。ちょうどプラからシーカーストーンを。
Oh, so it came from Pura. It's an R2D2 BB-8 thingy. Oh, look at this post I saw on Instagram, Zelda. So these are like ancient amiibos. It's an amiibo. It reacts with the Sheikah Slate, which is a Nintendo Switch console. So yeah, it's an amiibo. The small guardian's an amiibo.
そのガーディアンと突如平原に出現した塔の調査を古代遺物の研究者であるフルアとロベリーに依頼することを提案。 This is also like how most Musou games tell their stories. The bigger plot is always just narrated like this, and then you only get scenes of the micro engagements. And it focuses more on the interpersonal relationships of the characters rather than focusing on the bigger scale of things, which I think is a very unique way of telling stories, but it doesn't really encapsulate, or it's not able to portray the whole story in in an elegant manner. An order for Link, the Hylian Knight. You must guard the mysterious tower that has appeared. I'm told it may be important. As for this time-hopping guardian, is it truly deserving of our trust? You must discern this beyond any doubt with the aid of the researchers. May the goddess Hylia watch over you always. Rome vos foramus Hyrule. Okay, so that's a royal edict. So this is the campaign map I was talking about. Link the Silent Knight, a skilled swordsman serving the royal family of Hyrule. Born to a line of imperial guards, he is renowned for his fighting skills and courage. Impa, royal advisor and a loyal friend, the advisor to Hyrule's royal family and a revered member of the Sheikah tribe. She is dedicated to her work and known for being steadfast and diligent. She can be distractible at times. So like a dog. Loyal friend, distractible at times. So, map of Hyrule. Use the Sheikah Slate to choose a destination. Tackle problems across
Hyrule and level up your characters. Save data for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was found on your system. You acquired the bonus weapon. That's cool. You gave me training sword. Fantastic. That's a lot of things. Oh, it's BB8's showing us something. Oh, this game is also available for two-player mode if you have someone else at your home that you can share the Switch with and you want to play with. It's amazing. It's an amazing game, but there just a little warning. The game will experience lots of frame drops when you play this in two-player mode, split screen. So yeah, this is just a little information, FYI. So let's do this. Supply the materials and let's us cook some food. Hot meals in a pot. You got a fire going and cook for the first time. Now with a pot, a fire, and the right ingredients, you'll be able to cook a variety of dishes. Do it whenever you need sustenance. Gives us steamed meat, which I think we can use in battle. Contributions to Hyrule. Complete quests in a region to contribute there. Work together with the denizens across the kingdom to grow stronger and fight against the calamity. So there's another food, a feast of greens. But we don't have enough materials. So let's look elsewhere. Hyrule Sword Fighting Academy. Let's try this. I have a lot of bokoblin horns, apparently. Hyrule Sword Fighting Academy. With the materials Link provided, the Swords Master built a perfect classroom. As thanks for his help, she offered to let him join the class. Ah, so it improves our combos by doing some of these quests. Oh, amazing. And there's another one. We need 100. What's this? Lizolfos trophies. We only have 73. The Lights of Home. Impa ran across a merchant in the Hebra region who lamented that it had been years since his last journey. Okay, give him some materials. We got one. Impa got one bonus heart. So that's how you earn hearts in this game. You complete side quests. This one, we're missing an Ochu thing. Alright, so what else can we do? We haven't done this one. And this one, but we're missing resources. Alright, so I think the only things left for us to do is go here for the next mission. Road to the Ancient Lab. Breach of Demise. So equipping weapons, you can change the equipment your characters are using from the party menu. You can edit your party by pressing plus on the map of Hyrule. Let's go use whichever weapon's the strongest. Oh cool, the training sword is the strongest weapon we can equip right now. Wooden practice sword used by soldiers of the Hyrulean army. It has a decent weight to it. Gripping it takes you back to your early days of training. Also, it's a chance to automatically guard for 10% chance. And we have some equipment you can actually wear. Soldier's helm. Oh, that's cool. But I think this is just aesthetic. Doesn't have any stats to offer. Because I don't see any stats. Impa, let's give her this Kodachi. Kakariko Kodachi. Additional mid-air air attack damage plus 7% and 17 attack power. Cooking, we could eat the steamed meat to increase our damage for this mission. Okay, that's cool. So let's go onward and do our second mission objective.
謎のガーディアンに興味を持ったゼルダはインパ、そして護衛役としてリンクを連れフルアたちの待つ古代研究所へと向かうが
I have to press next, sorry. Tips to information everything here will undoubtedly come in handy in future battles. True Knight never stops learning. Okay, so we're going to the research lab. So it's Link, Impa, and the BB8. The Guardian, small Guardian. I don't know the name of it yet. I was wondering how they knew that this thing came from the future. I think I missed something. And if it's a piece of ancient technology, then how come it came from the future?
の子はなぜ私を慕ってくれるのでしょう。あなたは何者なの？研究所でロベリーたちに解析してもらわないことには始まりませんね。
There's our helmet.
姫様。
Oh no. Wait, so Ganon already started corrupting the Guardians this early? Ooh, nice one, Link. It's cool because Link doesn't really... I mean, playing as Link in Breath of the Wild doesn't really let you do those things that easily. It's fantastic how he can do it right off the bat here in Hyrule Warriors. Just goes to show his pedigree. Okay, time to fight goblins and some guardians. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but the hit of the sword really gives just a thump, because it's wood. It sounds like wood hitting flesh. I'm not sure if you guys have heard that in real life. I hope you haven't. I'm not sure what kind of situations could have brought you to listen to that kind of sound, but yeah, it does sound like wood and flesh. Okay, let's beat this moblin. I think I'm gonna use Impa a bit. What's her superpowers? Ow! Absorb symbols. Oh, so that's... What do you mean absorb symbols? Oh, there you go. She summons some holograms. Or are those clones? If I were you, I'm gonna attack from the air because that's how Impa... That's where Impa does more damage. And mid-air. I'm not exactly sure how Impa's mechanics work, to be honest. I'm kinda... fumbling about it. Not exactly sure what I'm doing, to be honest. But we need to level her up, so we need to use her. Oh, I see. There's like 3 different symbols. The upper left corner. I think we have to, what was this? Oh, that's cool. You can use the magnet to do that? Alright. So I think we have to collect different symbols. I'm not sure yet what we get for absorbing all of them. Power up special attacks by absorbing 3 symbols. Now we have 3. I think we can use our super. Oh. Okay. Okay. I think that's a reasonable mechanic. Collect different symbols first. Stasis. Okay, so we all of the 3, I mean all of the 4 Sheikah abilities that Link has access to in Breath of the Wild are now unlocked in this game. Oh! Got frozen. Alright. Okay. So we get more of the clones or more of these holograms, the more symbols we have in possession. Ice rod, that's cool. We now have two rods. We have a fire rod and ice rod. Let's try using the ice rod. Ooh, not bad. Freezes all of them in the AoE. That's cool. Okay, I see. So that's why there's not so much bokoblins in Breath of the Wild. I apparently killed most of them here in this game already. Magnesis on enemies carrying metal equipment. B. So that's what happens. You steal their weapons and then hit them with it. That's really cool. Treasure! Armored Porgy? How come you get 9 of those inside one treasure box? Who puts fish in boxes? Oh, it's a guardian! Run away. Uh-huh. Wonder if you can block. You can do the blocking thing here. Do I engage a guardian? It's too powerful. Whoa! You can do it! You can do it here! Cool. So I guess we can beat this up now. But we're doing not so much damage to it. Well, this brings back memories. You remember Final Fantasy VIII when you're being chased by the spider robot thing, and it tells you not to engage as well. Oops, you messed that up. Oh, that was too early. Can we bombard them with ice? Okay, thankfully we can. Ah. You also get to fight this giant spider robot there, and tells you not to engage, but there's something special that happens if you do get to beat it. So my gamer sense tells me we can actually beat this. Most especially it has its own life bar anyway, and it lets us attack it. So I'm guessing we can beat this eventually. You just have to keep blocking its attacks and survive and try to kill it. I'm just not sure how long it'll take us to beat this guy. Might take a long while, to be honest. Ah. There you go. It's not so hard, guys. We're already a quarter of the way there. Hey, come back here. It's the one running away from me. As long as you time that correctly, it's easy to beat it up. It deals a lot of damage as well, considerable amount of damage. Well, at least compared to your normal attacks. Oh, we messed that one up. As long as we don't get the direct hit from the laser, I think we'll do fine. Still got it. Years of practice in Breath of the Wild won't go away so easily. Still got the timing right. Oops. Lightbringer, give me strength. Even the ult didn't do that much damage against the Guardian. Oh, we messed that one up. So in a sense, only Link can do this. Because Impa doesn't use shield. So she won't be able to block the attacks of the Guardian. Where's Impa anyway? She's not even helping me. Probably should ask her to attack the Guardian. Oh crap. Where's Impa not attacking it? Whoops. Whoop. Dodge that. I think we're close to breaking its shields, boys. It's the one running away from us now. Oh, Impa's gonna die. And maybe I should order Impa to get away from here. Where are we supposed to go? Here? Yeah, go straight there, Impa. Why? I'm not breaking the shields at all. Hey, come back here. Yeah, shields are down. Wow, that's a lot of damage. That thing is relentless, my ass. We're beating it. It has full shields again. There's no hope of escape. Are you guys blind? What? There's a cutscene. Don't tell me that small thing's gonna revive again. Oh! It killed it. Fantastic. What's happening? There's another cutscene? Oh, you get to beat it. Oh, we get treated to a little cutscene because we beat it. See, I told you guys. There's the gamer sense told me something's gonna happen. We get to beat it. We even just used the training sword to do that. Fantastic. Oh, what? There's an evil BB-8? Seems like there's an evil BB-8 lurking in the shadows. Road to the ancient lab, victory. Oh, was Zelda usable there? I didn't notice. Well, he had 267 KOs in that one. Traveler's Sword 14. Still, the training sword is still so much better than that. Durian, truffles, radish, opal, and an iron shrew. Get some food as well. It's Robbie. Didn't know Robbie was this eccentric when he was a kid. Or younger at least. Because in Breath of the Wild, he's just a small guy, right? If I remember things correctly. Pura! It's Pura! No doubt about it, Hyrule Castle after Calamity Gun has been revived. Oh yeah, okay, so they extracted some photo data from the future BB-8 Guardian and saw this. So it's like a future Trunks in Dragon Ball. And I don't know who is supposed to be Goku here. Is it supposed to be Zelda or is it supposed to be Link? Oh, okay. I missed that. Zelda says, never, that will not come to pass.
四神獣の力が不可欠だった。だが大魔の剣の眠るコログの森は魔物の手に落ち、
Oh, so we don't have access to the legendary sword yet. I see. The sword of Hyrule. Oh, so the pilots weren't really linked to the divine beasts at all. They were chosen to pilot the beasts, and it was Zelda's role to find them. All this time, I thought the title of a champion for the divine beasts is something that's handed down in generations. Like it's a title that you actually know is supposed to be it, but apparently it's supposed to be a title chosen. It's supposed to be a title whose bearer will be chosen by Zelda. I didn't know that from playing from playing the original Breath of the Wild. See, that's the part I don't get. It's an ancient relic, but it came from the future. And the duty that Zelda's father is talking about here is her. She's supposed to awaken some powers that's passed down in generations of the Hyrulean royal family. She's supposed to turn to some form of a priestess that's supposed to awaken a power that's enough to defeat Calamity Ganon. And it's the power that she was using when we were playing Breath of the Wild. It's the power she was using to prevent Calamity Ganon from finishing off Hyrule. All this time that Link was sleeping for 100 years, it was the power that Zelda was using to keep Ganon at bay. So it wasn't enough to beat Ganon. She still needed Link's help to beat it once and for all. So that's the beauty of this game. It might have a different gameplay style as other Legend of Zelda games, but it does pieces together parts of the puzzle that are left to us by Breath of the Wild. And of course, these pieces of information are more valuable for us when we play Breath of the Wild 2 once it comes out. So we got Zelda, burgeoning scholar and princess, the princess of Hyrule, in whose veins flows the blood of the goddess. She's devoted to researching ancient technology and awakening her sacred power. So she's a geek at heart. She's a technophile, but her father doesn't approve of it. Her father wants her to focus more on being a priestess so that she could awaken the power, but Zelda believed that the technology that they could unearth using the ancient technology of the Sheikahs will be able to help them defeat Ganon eventually. But ironically, it was these technology that Ganon corrupted to overtake Hyrule when he invaded the castle at the start of Breath of the Wild. So that's how the story goes for this game. For those who are not that familiar with the story of Breath of the Wild, and more of the pieces will come together as we play through this game. And that's the first chapter for you of Age of Calamity Hyrule Warriors. So a lot more of the battles gets unlocked now, and at this point forward we will be collecting the champions for the divine beasts. And there are also challenges for us to partake in if we want more rewards and if we want to strengthen our heroes better. The power of the Guardian from the future has opened the path to a battlefield from another world. Travel there to tackle new challenges. Alright. So that's going to be it for this session. I still have a long night ahead of me. I'm still going to work. I know I keep saying that. I sound like a broken plate when I keep on saying that. Like a broken record whenever I finish my stream. Keep blabbering about having so much to do left for the night. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in our pilot episode of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I hope you guys tune in again next week. Tomorrow I have another surprise. Actually, I was supposed to poll it. I was gonna ask you guys what you want me to play, but basically it's Resident Evil. It's a Resident Evil game that I'm planning to play tomorrow. I'm just not sure which one because I'm not sure which one I'd actually enjoy playing. Um, it's going to be a choice between it's a toss up between Resident Evil Revelations 1 and Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 0 is more closer to the classic style gameplay. The fixed camera and with tank controls, kind of Resident Evil, and it's the start of the whole series in terms of chronological order of the story. So, as how we're preparing for Breath of the Wild 2 with Age of Calamity, I also want to prepare the same way for Resident Evil 8 when it eventually gets released on May. So I want to start with Resident Evil 0, and then we go through the remakes of 1, 2, 3, play a version of 4, play 5 and 6, or probably skip them altogether because I'm pretty sure those two games aren't so Resident Evil-y for even for me. I'm not sure if I'd like 5 and 6. And we already finished 7, but we might play some of the DLCs eventually on the road to playing Resident Evil 8 eventually. So yeah, that's the content plan that we have for the next few months. I told you guys it's going to be a whole new year, a whole new chapter for us once we finished Link's Awakening and Genshin Impact, and that's the roadmap that we're gonna be having. So I hope to see you guys again tomorrow for Resident Evil 0 stream, and then see you guys again next week for the continuation of our Age of Calamity live stream. And that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you again next time.